असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय
मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। असतो मा
Namaskar everyone, my name is Varun Joshi. I am Senior Officer in Directorate of CAT in the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. I give a hearty welcome to each amongst us. So today we are in the fifth of the 10 series of Youngsters Be Entrepreneurs, and today's topic is e-way bill and reconciliation thereof. And today we have got an eminent speaker with whom we began this series, Mr. Amit Devade. So he is an associate member of the institute and he is a practicing cost accountant having 12 years of experience in audit services, consultancy, teaching, operations with respect to direct and indirect taxes. So most about him I have told during the first session of this webinar. After that, recently he has got third prize in GST and U contest 2020 on benefits of GST held by GSTN for his creative thinking and entry submitted on various benefits of GST. I extend a hearty welcome to CMA Amit Devade sir. It is a great opportunity that he is with us today. We are very much delighted, sir. Now over to Amit Devade sir. Sir, requesting you to please put you on unmute so that I can send you on live screen, sir.
Yeah. Okay, thank you for the. I will start the subject. Is my voice is audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, not an issue.
Loud and clear.
Yeah. So, as the subject saying e-way bill and reconciliation thereof, youngsters be entrepreneurs is the tagline of our the entire course object is, and in that object line there is a new concept called e-way bill and reconciliation thereof we are learning today. After all, the basic GST idea is coming based on the transaction wise. All GST provisions are applicable transaction wise, and on those transactions which are happening from the company to company or B2B supplies, for those transactions government is come with the unique idea of e-way bill. The e-way bill system incorporated from somewhere February 18 for all the movement of goods made by the registered taxpayer. It is also applicable for the unregistered taxpayer supplies. So whatever transaction happening in GST era is with the e-way bill system. So we'll go further, see what e-way bill is and reconciliations point thereof and what exactly our role in that. Someone may say e-way bill बनाना है तो अपना क्या काम है, but we'll see how important aspect this e-way bill and reconciliation will give us an opportunity to do the something different type of exposure. So this is the smart agenda for this session. We'll start with the knowledge of the playground. We'll understand what exactly we have to explore. Then role of CMA in e-way bill system. Then all about e-way bill, what are the legal provisions of e-way bill, when it is applicable, when it is not applicable, what means part A, what means part B, who can update it, who cannot update it, all the legal provisions will be updated in this third level. For how to prepare e-way bill, actually we are login portal of e-way bill and see how to prepare a normal e-way bill in various cases. Then some important points regarding the e-way bill system. What exactly we have to look for the e-way bill and what are the important major crux of the e-way bill. Next point, very important part for us, that is reconciliation of e-way bill. Then how we are going to do the reconciliation, it gives the value to the our customers is looking into this phase. And last is way forward. What is our role and what is our opportunities under the e-way bill and reconciliation thereof? We'll see in a very much smart manner, I will say. So be relaxed, be calm and quiet. I know this is the weekend session, so enjoy your weekend with this session. I will use very friendly language for you. I have the smart presentation for you, which is having some pictures, some good font size for you. So be relaxed, open your mind and try to concentrate on the subject matter. I know subject matter is very simple. This is only e-way bill which has to be prepared for every movement of transactions under GST, but do open your mind and listen carefully what I am going to tell you about the e-way bill, what is legal provisions and its reconciliation. And of course, after understanding all the aspects, you will get to know how we can work smartly under this e-way bill and reconciliation. Okay. So as usual, before we start knowing the playground, now post 1st July 2017, there is a smart playground for us, that is time for GST. After 1st July 2017, same slide I have mentioned in my first presentation also. Now also I am presenting time for GST from 1st July 2017. So lots of opportunities are available after 1st July 2017. So we have to see what are those and we have to grab those opportunities very, very smartly. So being CMA or aspiring CMA, it is important for us to gauge the mileage under GST and related works. So definitely GST has a lots of branches for the work. So you have to explore what type of work we can gather and grab. Okay, why e-way bill? Basic things. Shift from the departmental policing model, a post-movement capture model, to self-declaration model, that is pre-capture model. The e-way bill system is not after your movement of goods. The e-way bill system will bring out the self-declaration model, which is before your movement of goods, capture the detail model. So this is the first basic objective of e-way bill system. Then one e-way bill for movement of goods throughout the country. If your goods are moving from entire the country, it is under only one document, that is e-way bill. No separate challans or gate pass or state-wise entry pass are required under e-way bill system. Only single document e-way bill you must have with your carriage. Next, hassle-free movement of goods for transporter throughout the country. It gives the immense freeness to the transporters of goods with having the e-way bill system. They can move directly. There are no checkpoints or toll nakas. After e-way bill, the movement of goods from one state to another become very seamless, hassle-free movements. There is no extra stoppage or extra gaining of the time and money from the government officials. If you have the proper e-way bill system, proper e-way bill with you, you can transport your goods from one state to another very easily. Next, very important point from the GST department perspective, controlling of tax evasion. Whatever transactions are happening under GST, those transactions must having the e-way bill, and that e-way bill preparation itself doing the controlling of tax evasion. It is the basic objective of e-way bill system, which is for the controlling of tax evasion in the India. Then no need for transit parts in any state. As I have already told, one single document is required. So there is no requirement of transit pass for the any states now. After e-way bill system, people will ask you only for the e-way bill and not for transit pass for any states. And easier verification of e-way bill by the officer with complete details. They have dedicated system with them. Every checkpoints officer will validate your e-way bill number only. After putting that e-way bill number, entire details of that vehicle, the total invoice and tax on that transaction on that vehicle is captured by that system, and officer will know what exactly the goods are moving from this transportation. So this is the basic idea of e-way bill system, which is very good system, which is one more enhanced point for the GST. So next point, remember always GST square. So one has to remember always the square of GST for knowing the GST in a better way. There is GSTR 3B, which are saying about output liability including RCM for the month. This is only summary return prepared by the taxpayer. Then next is GSTR1. Second phase is GSTR1. GSTR1 is saying about transaction wise outward supplies detail. Whatever transaction you are making for the particular month, you have to report in GSTR1. Based on GSTR 3B and GSTR 1, company's annual return, that is called GSTR 9, will be prepared. GSTR 9 is a combination of GSTR 3B and GSTR 1 in addition to books of account. Whatever books of account is there, those transactions which are not reported in 3B and 1, those points are also covered in GSTR 9, that is called annual return. And based on this annual return, your certified audit will be done under the GSTR 9C. So external party can audit, whether it is CMA, CA, can do the GSTR 9C certification for you based on the GSTR 9. Why the GST square I am emphasizing? In every lecture, I am emphasizing this GST square. One has to understanding the entire linkage of reconciliations happening from this GSTR1 to GSTR9C. This is like a tax audit for you. Each and every transactions, whatever mentioned in your financial, has to be get matched with your GST returns. This is not happening in service tax and VAT regime. There is a reconciliation in VAT called annexure J something, last annexure is there for reconciliation of books of account and VAT report. But most of the time that reconciliation statement by the certifying auditor will kept blank. But now under GSTR 9C itself stating that this is a reconciliation statement with the books of account, which means it is a transparent system which is covered under the GST. So now in comparison to GST square, where the e-way bill stands. Now e-way bill stands for your GSTR1. Whatever transactions you are doing for the month, that has to be mapped with your e-way bill system. And here comes the role of reconciliation of e-way bill and your GST returns. Again in GSTR 3B, there is a tab for inward supplies. Whatever inward supplies you are receiving from the various your vendors, those supplies are also required to be mapped with e-way bill system. Whether those supplies are with the proper e-way bill or not, that also to be reconciled. And here lies the major crux of reconciliation of e-way bill data and your GST return data. In last 6 months, various notices from the department already started to the assessees. For asking the detail, you have reported in e-way bill system certain amount and in GST 1 certain amount. Whatever difference is there, show cause, why not to impose a tax on that value? And many assessees replied those transaction as they think fit. No one has the solid concrete answer how to reply those queries. And here lies our role. Whenever there is a problem in the industry, we are there. As an entrepreneur, we are seeing a problem as an opportunity. We have to convert every problem into the opportunity, and here is the opportunity. The most slight neglected area has to be bring up for our targeted objective and targeted market. So I will tell you how to do that. Before that, this legal framework is there regarding e-way bill provisions, which are going in next slides also. Just have a note of these sections, these rules, and e-way bill forms and notification thereof, which are binding on the GST taxpayer to prepare e-way bill for every movement of tax, every movement of goods, sorry. So section 68 of CGST Act, you have to refer, you have to note down these sections and rules. You have to read this section for better investment. Read these all sections, notification, whatever mentioned on the screen by tomorrow. You will get to know the entire legal framework for the e-way bill applicability. I will explain you in the next slide also. But for betterment, these section I have summarized in a simple manner. So remember always the legal framework from where it's come. Whenever you go to client, you have to tell from the legal framework, because client will ask you kahan pe likha hai. So it is written in these all rules, sections and notification. So you tell them these are the notifications, these are the provisions, you will get the work for sure. Okay. Now, role of CMA in e-way bill. One can say e-way bill preparation is the job of logistic person. What is the role of CMA? But even though e-way bill is prepared by the logistic person, whosoever is supplying the goods, but ultimately that e-way bill data is mapped with your monthly GST return, and notice will come to your finance department and not for logistic department, because notice is for revenue tax and that is handled by the finance department only. So in any case, whosoever is preparing e-way bill, you have to be looked into what exactly he is reporting in e-way bill. So considering this, the basic role of CMA in e-way bill system, starting with e-way bill, e-invoicing solution. So the wording is e-way bill solution. I think there is one slight mistake. So e-way bill solution, you can give the client e-way bill solution. You can prepare the e-way bills, you can monitor the e-way bill, entire transaction you can get as a professional task. Next, reconciliation of e-way bill and outward supplies. You can give the client monthly e-way bill generated by the e-way bill portal and outward supplies reconciliation, that is from GSTR 1. Next, reconciliation of e-way bill and inward supplies. That is also additional task which can be offered to your client. Client is happily give you the details. I know these two areas are not yet hampered or not yet bothered by the client, but you have to mention GST audit manual and the legal section already referred by me, and tell the client it is a requirement of tomorrow which has to be done today. So be ready for tomorrow for better and understandable legal liabilities on the company, and do this task. They will easily give you this task for the work. Next, guidance on the compliance and issue. There are n number of issues coming up under e-way bill. You can get the retainership clients for the guidance on compliance and issues on e-way bill system. Then assisting for the replies to the department notices. As I have said, department already started the various notices on the subject matter. You can assist your clients for the replying of those queries. Here is again the new work starts. Here is again the role of the good professionalism. Then representation before the adjudicating authority. Suppose one demand notice is coming, you can go and address those demand notice in the proper fashion. These are the basic roles under the e-way bill system of the CMA. And I think considering GST purview, this is a separate branch where you can work and earn more and more money. The picture is same. You have to be think for the growth, and for growth you have to explore your abilities in different fashion in different areas. So this is the one more area which can be explored by you, that is e-way bill. Okay, sound interesting? Yes. Yeah. So what is e-way bill? E-way bill is an electronic way bill for movement of goods. Very simple. Very thin line. E-way bill means an electronic way bill for the movement of goods. Whatever goods are moving from your company to another company or B2B supplies or whatever it is, there is a smart electronic way bill can be prepared, that is known as e-way bill. And this e-way bill will be generated on the e-way bill portal. This is a simple layman language understanding for the e-way bill. When an e-way bill is generated, a unique e-way bill number, that is also called EBN, is allocated and it's available to supplier, recipient and the transporter. That EBN is very much a required number for every movement of goods, because government officials are also looking for the EBN only, because after putting the EBN he will get entire details of the transactions and whatever goods you are carrying under the carriage. So this is the basic e-way bill details. E-way bill, when is required, there is a requirement of e-way bill under the various sections. E-way bill will be generated where there is a movement of goods of a value more than 50,000 rupees. As per legal provisions, transactions having more than 50,000 rupee, you have to prepare e-way bill. Okay, so suppliers of goods more than 50,000 required e-way bill. Other than supply like job work, CKD, SKD supply, sales return, etc. Again, you have to prepare e-way bill. And inward supply from the unregistered person. In that case also you have to prepare e-way bill. So unregistered person is not preparing the e-way bill, but you being a registered person required to prepare e-way bill. This 50,000 limit is varying from the state to state. As per the Basic Act, 50,000 limit is there, but state-wise, state can enhance this limit to the various person. Like for Maharashtra, there is a 1 lakh limit. So you cannot do the e-way bill for less than 1 lakh transaction. So likewise, these are the basic conditions. Options for registered dealer to generate e-way bill either by himself or transporter on his behalf. And e-way bill generated even if value below 50,000. There are some cases where e-way bill can be generated even if the value of the consignment is less than 50,000. And first is voluntary. I suggest to my clients not going into this basic exemption limit of 50,000 and prepare e-way bill from 1 rupee transactions only, because it will be a compliance which has been done. Because for monitoring each and every consignment, whether it is more than 50,000 or less than 50,000, required intelligence, and that basic intelligence may not possible to have to your logistic person or logistic guy. So advise your client to more compliant that you prepare e-way bill for voluntary for all the transactions. It will not mess up with your reconciliation, as well as it will be the better value addition for the clients. So my clients are following from 1 rupee. There are no bifurcation of 50,000 or whatever transaction happening, we are preparing e-way bill. Okay, and next is goods sent or received from the job work outside the state, e-way bill to be generated by the principal or the registered job worker, irrespective of the value. If supply of goods for job work to any other state, in that case e-way bill has to be prepared from ₹1. So there is no 50,000 limit is there. E-way bill has to be prepared for each and every transactions of job work interstate. So these are the basic condition when e-way bill is required. So whenever your company's movement of goods is more than 50,000, you have to prepare the e-way bill. No e-way bill is necessary. There are certain list of transactions where e-way bill is not required. What are those? Movement in not motorized vehicle like bullock cart, cycle, etc. If your goods are moving from the bullock cart, cycle, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Logical and not possible also. There is no transactions of goods which are being done on bullock cart or cycle now. Okay, then movement of goods from port to inland custom station to ICD, inland container depot or CFS. Movement within the area notified by the government. Government may notify some areas where the e-way bill application is not there. Transactions which are no supply of goods accordance with the schedule 3 of section 7 of CGST Act. When there is no supply of goods, definitely it will be supply of service. So for that purpose, e-way bill is not required. E-way bill is only required for goods, not for services. From movement of exempted goods from GST exempt de-oiled cake. There is some list is there. Supply of goods which are not covered under GST. Movement of specified goods like gem jewelry including precious stones etc. Kerosene, LPG, household and all categories are not required e-way bill. If you remember, your gas will come without e-way bill. So for LPG for households, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Then transport of goods through transit cargo from or to Nepal or Bhutan, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Transport of goods under custom bond from the inland container depot, already we have seen that. Movement of goods by the defense formation, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Transport of goods by rail when consignor is central or state government or local authority. So any transaction by the government, by the transport of goods by rail, there is no requirement of e-way bill. Transport of empty container, again there is no requirement of e-way bill, it is empty container, so no cost and no e-way bill is required. Movement of goods from the place of business of consignor to weighbridge up to the distance of 20 km and vice versa. So up to 20 km from your place of business to the consignor weighbridge, there is no requirement of weigh bill. Again, this kilometer has to be understand and get from your validated source. You cannot say that our way bridge is say for 100 kilometers away, but you are saying no, as per our map it is 20 kilometers. It has to be justifiable 20 kilometers only. So these are some cases where e-way bill is not necessary. So I think none of us will face such transactions in normal case. So e-way bill can be done like that. So e-way bill basically come up with the two parts, part A and part B. Part A saying about all your invoice detail. Whatever invoice you have prepared, all those details are captured in part A. Basically, part A is only reconciled with your GST return and not part B, because part A contained all invoice details and part B contains your vehicle details. Whatever the movement of goods is happening by you, under which vehicle is coming under the part B. Or in a nutshell, you can say part B is only for the vehicle number. Whatever transportation form you are using, that transportation form number has to be put in part B. So as a reconciliation purpose or for a reconciliation purpose, you are looking for part A and not for part B, because part B anywhere not important for us. So there are some exceptions where e-way bill without part B can be prepared. So no part B to be filled by e-way bill for transportation from place of business to place of transporter if the distance is less than 50 km within the states. So 50 km within the state is there, then there is no requirement to fill up the part B. In any case, you have to prepare part A, but not requirement of part B. No part B is required when the distance between place of business of transporter to the place of business of consignee is within state or union territory. In all cases, part B has to be updated within 72 hours. Once your part A is prepared by any manner, whatever invoices you are prepared, based on that part A will be done. After part A, part B has to be updated within 72 hours. In every company, there is some interlinking between their ERP systems and e-way bill portal. Those can fetch the details from the ERP system and make the part A. And whenever the dispatch starts, they will update part B. But in that case, the dispatches has to be mapped in 72 hours, because it is important to update the e-way bill part B in 72 hours, otherwise it will lapse. And once part B is furnished, it can be updated as the case may be. Whenever you update part B in e-way bill, then only the validity of e-way bill starts. So your part B means your vehicle number is utmost important thing for the validity of e-way bill. Unless and until there is no part B field, that is not valid e-way bill. Valid e-way bill means part A plus part B. That is your valid e-way bill, and that validity of e-way bill starts from only after filing part B, that is vehicle number. Okay, who will generate e-way bill? Next question, who will generate the e-way bill? After implementation of GST, there is lots of question who will prepare GST return, whether excise people will do or whether VAT people will do. And after that fighting, everyone saying no, this is not my task, this is my not task. And after say 6 months, there is a fighting of give that return to me, because there is a manpower reduction after the GST implementation. In same manner, e-way bill, after introduction of e-way bill in February 2018, there is a fight between the finance people and logistic people. Who will prepare the e-way bill? Whether this is the responsibility of finance people or whether this is the responsibility of logistic people. So all this happening, but basically e-way bill can be prepared by anyone. Anyone means a registered person who actually supplying the goods can generate e-way bill. Suppose you are supplier of goods, you can prepare the e-way bill. If you do not wish to prepare e-way bill, registered recipient can prepare e-way bill for you. It means that you can ask your customers to prepare e-way bill for themselves. Your movement of goods will be valid. But in most of cases, customers are not ready to accept this condition, because when the dispatch happen, don't know, and considering the business model, it is always responsibility of registered person. And suppose a registered person is saying no, registered recipient is saying no, then transporter can also prepare the e-way bill. The transporters who are carrying the goods by road, air, rail, etc. are also required or also can generate e-way bill if the supplier has not generated the e-way bill. So e-way bill system make very user friendly and can be used by the any person of the transaction. Condition is every conveyance has to be with valid e-way bill. The word is valid e-way bill and not e-way bill, because whatever details mentioned on e-way bill must be valid. Suppose your e-way bill is containing part B as a vehicle number A, but that goods are carrying under vehicle number B, that is not valid e-way bill. Officer can detain your goods. They can say whatever is mentioned in e-way bill, this vehicle is not that vehicle. So you are doing clandestine removal from your factory. He may ask for you the penalty and tax payment of 100% tax payment of those goods. Okay. In case of change in conveyance, it is very normal business practice. It may possible that during the transit your conveyance may change. Whatever goods are transited from the A vehicle can be changed during the movement of goods to B. Then registered person or the transporter can update the vehicle number with the same validity of e-way bill in the part B. It means that part A generation, after preparing part A of e-way bill, there is no modifications possible. But part B, that is vehicle number, can be updated n number of times. Hundreds of times you can amend part B details, because part B detail is nothing but the vehicle number. You may change one vehicle, two vehicle, three vehicle, whatever it is. Ultimately, whenever e-way bill will be assessed by the officer, that same vehicle number has to be mentioned in the e-way bill. That caution has to be taken. So these are the persons who can generate the e-way bill. Next, a unique e-way bill number, that is EBN, will be generated on submission of Part A and Part B. Part A and Part B. In normal business scenario, there is n number of confusions having with the businesses. Many businesses are mentioning TRN number after putting Part A. Whatever number they have get from the portal, they are mentioning on the invoice, which is a wrong practice. The valid e-way bill is only after submission of Part A and Part B. The e-way bill details will be communicated to the supplier, the recipient and the transporter to the common portal, through the common portal. So one can check the details of e-way bill by simply putting the EBN number on common portal. There is a dedicated portal given e-way bill portal that can be accessed by anyone. Only by this EBN number they can check what is the exact status of that e-way bill, whether that is valid or not valid. You may ask for your client that whatever inward supplies they are getting, just to check validity of e-way bill of those supplies, and that also one more opportunity to get the work from the clients, because they don't have the manpower. We can provide the manpower for this work. So your people may go there, check the inward supplies, whether those are having with the proper e-way bill or not. That's the case. Next, transporter can create e-way bill if the consignor consignee has not generated on the basis of the invoice, bill of supplies, delivery challan given to them. Whatever document they are having, based on that document, transporter can also prepare the e-way bill. And if supply made by air, ship, railways, then the information in Part B like railway receipt number, airway bill number has to be filled in by the consignor or the recipient. Now this is the very important. E-way bill can be prepared for any mode of transportation. This is not limited to any road transport. If you are transferring goods from the air, you are required to prepare e-way bill. If you are transmitting goods from the ship, you have to prepare e-way bill. And if railways is there, yes, you have to prepare the e-way bill. In Part B, whenever the vehicle number is there, you have to put railway receipt number or airway bill number in that Part B, and that Part B can be filled by the consignor or recipient. Here is the crux. Supplier cannot amend this Part B for these transactions, because the recipient or the consignor can fill up those details. So this is a standard e-way bill portal, and we'll see how to generate e-way bill on portal. It's very easy. After the registration under the e-way bill system, you will get this pop-up of e-way bill with having the dashboard. How many e-way bill generated by me, e-way bill cancelled by me, e-way bill rejected by me. These are for the inward supplies. E-way bill generated by the other party on my GSTN, those are the inward supplies. So I will go to this remark column and e-way bill generate new. After clicking generate new, you will open up this window. So transaction type will be the outward or inward. So in transaction detail, you have to mention transaction type is outward transaction type, because we are preparing e-way bill for outward transactions. Okay. So again, if you see these lines, indicates mandatory fields for e-way bill, and green R indicates mandatory fields for GSTR1. It means whatever details you are filling to prepare the e-way bill is mapped with your GSTR1 system. So if transaction type is outward, then you select the document type, what document type you have, whether it is tax invoice or other, document number, mention the client name, and for what purpose you are doing, supply hai, export, job work, CKD, SKD, recipient not known, for own use, for exhibition or fairs, line sales and others. Whatever you have to select as a supply type. Then mention these are the Part A, and this Part B is there. Part B is nothing but the vehicle number. So mode of transport mentioning road, rail, air, ship, whatever it is. I have selected here road, so I have to put the Part B, vehicle number. Suppose vehicle number is not available with you and your entire consignment is handled by the transporting company. You simply mention the transporter name, transporter ID, which is given by the GST department to the unregistered transporter, and transporter's document number and date. So part B can be filled up by the both the ways. Okay. So after this, you have to click submit. Your e-way bill will be generated. This is a normal outward supply. I have told to you normal supply how e-way bill is prepared. Next, in case of exports, how we prepare the e-way bill? Simple. You have to select outward supplies, put supply type as an export, and for export in the country, you have to mention the place and pin code as 999 other countries. Then this is for the job work. Again, job work, you have to select job work. Whosoever is job worker detail has to be filled in. Details of the job work, tax type. Those are the invert. Again, invert because there is a no condition for the value. So for every transaction under interstate supplies of job work can be prepared. So for invert job work, you have to select invert here. Again, same job work and job work returns, and you have to mention the details of your invoices. So these basic detail required to be filled in, and your e-way bill can be accessible. It is as simple as that. You must have the standard invoice with you and e-way bill system login details. You can file the GST returns. So these are the prerequisite to generate e-way bill under the GST portal. Consigner, consignee, registered transporter, unregistered transporter having unique transporter ID. As I have already mentioned, those who are unregistered transporter must have get the unique transporter ID from the GST portal. It is simple. Go to the GST site, fill in some details, you will get the unique transporter ID. So these peoples are required as a prerequisite, and documents required are tax invoice or bill of supply or delivery challan, whatever documents you are mentioning or using for the transmitting of the goods. Transporter ID, who is transporting the goods. Transporter document number, date or vehicle number which are goods are being transported. So all the details are required to prepare a e-way bill. So why I am mentioning in this detail? Because at the time of reconciliation, these points has to be considered while categorizing reconciliation differences. Because in GSTR1, bill of supply and delivery challan values are not at all reported. Only numbers are reported in GSTR1. And in many cases, people are not mentioning the delivery challan series and bill of supply series under the GSTR1 document summary detail. So while reconciliation, you have to keep in mind that whether company is having supplies to job work or supplies under delivery challan, you have to see those transactions from the perspective of e-way bill reconciliation, because those transactions are there in e-way bill system. And for e-way bill system, if you are mentioning delivery challan, you have to mention the value of those goods and tax on that goods. You are not required to pay the tax. Logic is very simple. The assessing officer must know for how much value of the goods are transmitting and what is the tax exposure on those goods. Suppose on delivery challan you are sending 1 lakh of goods, and suppose that e-way bill is not at all valid. So assessing officer can impose the liability on that 1 lakh value because you have not valid e-way bill with you. So for that purpose, e-way bill required the values for bill of supply also and delivery challan also. So here is the major reconciliation point come up, that e-way bill is having the values for the delivery challan. For job work challan also you have to require values, but in case of GSTR1 there is no requirement of job work challan reporting under GSTR1. Even we are not reported any value for the delivery challan and bill of supply under GSTR1. Only B2B supplies are mentioning there. Okay, Mode of generation of e-way bill. How we can do or how we can generate the e-way bill. The e-way bill can be generated by the any of the mode using web-based system, a dedicated system. The screenshot already you have seen that screenshots. You can use the web-based system, or you can use SMS-based facility for generating e-way bill using Android app, which is under progress, not yet come by the GSTN, using site-to-site integration and using Suvidha provider. So by all these means, you can prepare e-way bill. Various persons are using the various systems for mapping their ERP system to the e-way bill system. So generation of e-way bill system itself is an easy task. One has to generate e-way bill, and that e-way bill portal is already having a such capacity to generate crores of e-way bill in a one day. So there is no need to wait or watch or what is happening. We have uploaded the details but not coming e-way bill. Those errors are not there under e-way bill system. It is most proven. NIC's developed the system, so it is good system till now. So this way you can prepare the e-way bills. Now e-way bill validity, as I have told always, your movement of goods must be with the valid e-way bill. What means valid e-way bill? E-way bill is having the validity based on the distance to travel. How many distance that vehicle must be traveled. So in e-way bill itself, the destination is mentioned by the taxpayer. Suppose goods are moving from the Maharashtra to Gujarat. The destination of Maharashtra and Gujarat has to be captured in e-way bill, and the distance has to be mentioned by the taxpayer before preparing e-way bill. Form A contains the distance required. So up to 100 kilometer, a standard day given is 1 day. Up to 100 kilometers, e-way bill system is saying 1 day is required, 1 day is allowed. And for every 100 kilometers or part thereof, 1 additional day is required. Suppose your total kilometer is coming 400. So your goods have to be moved from the supplier to the recipient in 4 days. Suppose your transporter get delayed and those goods are caught by the officer on the 5th day of that e-way bill, then that e-way bill is not valid. It means that he has the 100% right to detain your goods, charging the penalty because your movement of goods is without a valid e-way bill. Because wording is very important. Transition of goods is with valid e-way bill. Valid means it must be under the validity period. So one can be smart. He may put the total kilometer required more. Say Mumbai to Gujarat, he may put 1000 kilometer, which is not highly impossible. But people are doing that. To avoid any complications, they may put 1000. But now the entire system is mapped and auto-populated kilometers are also getting under the e-way bill. So you have not, you don't have that option also. And also Vahan is also integrated to the e-way bill system. Entire vehicles are mapped, and whatever number you are putting under part B is also validated. At the time of, suppose you are putting any wrong number, it will get error. This is not registered vehicle under the Vahan system. So these type of automations are also coming under e-way bill portal. Then what if the goods cannot be transported within the validity period? Suppose your goods are starting from Mumbai to Gujarat, having the validity of e-way bill for 3 days, but you are required 1 more day due to a number of reasons are there. What the e-way bill portal say about the validity period? The words used are exceptional circumstances. It means that it can't be in a regular nature. You can extend that period only in exceptional circumstances. And those validity of e-way bill can be amended by the transporter in part B to extend the validity period. And again, one more crux, Validity period for e-way bill can be amended only before 8 hours of the ending of that e-way bill validity. So before 8 hours, you have to look into whether it is possible to deliver the goods within the prescribed validity, or it may be validated by your transporter. Okay, and the validity starts from the first entry is made in part B, that is vehicle number, document number, railway received, airway bill, ship transportation. So when you put your first entry in part B, your validity starts for e-way bill. So be assured that whenever goods uploaded on vehicle, then only the part B can be filled by you. Otherwise, for the sake of time saving, you may prepare part A, part B in one go, and vehicle goes after 1 day. So already you may reduce your 1 day validity of e-way bill. And that e-way bill up till reaches to your recipient, that e-way bill got not valid e-way bill. So it may possible your customer is also denying to accept those goods because it is not having with the proper e-way bill. Okay, after updating part A of e-way bill, part B has to be filled within the 15 days from the generation of unique ID. So part B के लिए you have the sufficient time, you have the 15 days to update part B. So part A preparation is separate part, part B means your e-way bill validity meter चालू. E-way bill validity. As I have told you, Vahan e-way bill integration is already started in February 2020. The e-way bill portal has been linked to the Vahan system. A pilot run has already begun in the state of Karnataka. Now the vehicle registration number will be validated at the time of generation of e-way bill only. So no fake vehicles numbers are allowed. All vehicle number has to be registered. They are monitoring whosoever is the whatever the vehicle is used for the transportation of goods is registered under the Vahan system or not. It will regularize all the transportation sector in a one go. By integrating this Vahan system, entire transporters fraternity will be monitored. So this is the one more step is done by the GSTN. Next, blocking, unblocking of e-way bill. Now this is the routine words, blocking of e-way bill and all. Sorry. So e-way bill blocking means what? If a registered taxpayer who have not filed their returns for the previous 2 consecutive months or quarters, their e-way bill portal get blocked. Means he is not in a position to generate e-way bill. See the department's perspective. If the GST taxpayer is not compliant, they are not allowing you to transit the goods with e-way bill. Simple. They are stopping your supplies. And if e-way bill is not generated, your transporter is also knowing that you are not filed return, and your recipient is also know that you have not filed return. That's why you are not preparing e-way bill. So it is quite a good measure done by the department to emphasize on the compliant GST taxpayer. You have to file your returns regularly. This is a chain of GST structure. If you miss any chain, if you miss any step, you will get hampered on the another stage. So filing of GST return is most important to generate e-way bills on timely manner. If taxpayer has not filed GSTR 3B for 2 or more consecutive months, then he cannot generate e-way bills to do the dispatches and receive the goods, resulting in standstill. So वो रुक जाएगा. He may stop the entire work. He cannot do the transportation of goods with e-way bill. So these are the measures taken by the department for e-way bill blocking. Then only when taxpayer file GSTR 3B, the e-way bill get unblocked on the next step. Believe me, you have to go. If your e-way bill system is blocked by the department and you want to file the GSTR 3B return. If you file those return, you have to approach to your officer, GST officer, telling that please unblock my e-way bill portal. I have already filed. So it will take 24 hours to 48 hours for unblocking your e-way bill portal details. Once it is unblocked, you can use. And this system of e-way bill blocking was implemented from 2nd December 2019. So after introduction of e-way bill system in 2018, in December 2019, they are mentioning that if you are not compliant with your filing of returns, we will block your e-way bill. And now one more step ahead. Now they are saying under new GST return concept, once you prepare e-invoice, your ANX 1 will be auto-populated based on the e-invoice detail, and second alignment is your e-way bill is automatically prepared by the system. Your part A will be filled up by that e-invoicing detail. It means e-way bill will be atomized in no sooner days. After say 4 to 6 months, you will get a ready-made e-way bill for every year transactions. A user has to update only part B and that e-way bill is prepared by them, because part A itself is auto-filled under new system of e-invoicing. After preparing e-invoicing, automatically that data will go to the e-way bill portal to prepare part A of the e-way bill. There are some rumors are also coming after introduction of e-invoicing, e-way bill system will get lapsed. But this is only the rumors. Once notification came, then we will talk. Up till now, e-way bill is required for every taxpayer under the GST. Okay, now main slide, consequences of not carrying e-way bill. Suppose my goods are out of the company, I am sending the goods without e-way bill. What are the legal provisions? What are the legal consequences upon me after not carrying the e-way bill with the transporter? So there is a monetary penalty. Moving of goods without the cover of an invoice and e-way bill constitute an offence and attracts penalty of 10,000, or the tax ought to be immediate, whichever is greater. Hence, the bare minimum penalty that is levied for not complying in the rules is 10,000. 10,000 is fixed charge. Suppose you have removed the goods without e-way bill, you have to keep 10,000 ready in your pocket first. Then whatever charges, whatever goods you are carrying, on that whatever tax portion is there, you have to pay for. So there is next penalty is detention and seizure. The vehicle that is found to be transporting of goods without an e-way bill can be detained or seized and would be released only on payment of appropriate tax and penalty as specified by the officer. Under this, there could be two situations. First, if owner wishes to pay the penalty, he must pay 100% of the tax payable. And if not, the penalty will be equal to 50% of the value of goods. See the penalties. Whenever vehicle detains, transporter has no measure. Transporter will say, I will stop my vehicle for 10 days, not an issue. Goods are yours, you pay, you release. Once goods are transmitted from one to another, there is no responsibility on the transporter. He is only transporting goods. Ultimately, goods are yours. Customers are yours. Suppose vehicle is detained, ultimately your supply chain will happen. Company has to pay this penalty only. There are many companies who are doing the contracts with the transporter only, but there are very few who is having that dominating nature. In most of the cases, transporters are not ready to take any responsibility for the e-way bill. E-way bill has to be monitored by the supplier only. So in that case, supplier has to be ensured that whatever e-way bill they are sending, those are the valid e-way bills, and properly details have to be mentioned in part A with the matching with the invoice. Suppose your invoice is saying A and your e-way bill is saying B, then also it is not valid e-way bill. You can have these monetary penalties with you. So lots of cases are happening. Suppose vehicle detains, one can call you, your customer may call you. What is to be done? You have to be respond very clearly that if you want to pay, you pay for the taxes and the penalty, and if not, the penalty will be increases to 50% of value of goods, so which is quite higher. So first way roadmap is only possible, just pay and release the vehicle. You may assist the clients under these situations. So these are the basic consequences for not carrying e-way bill while transportation of goods. Now this slide is very important and interesting also. Different mode of transportation, one may confuse. I have transmitted goods from the n number of transportation modes. It starts from the vehicle, then the aeroplane, then the railway, then the motor vehicle, and again the recipient will final goods. So in that case, one e-way bill only required. Can we go through multiple modes of transportation before reaching to the destination? Because in all these cases, only part B has to be amended. That is, as per the mode of transportation, e-way bill required to be updated with new mode of transportation by using update vehicle number. So one has to update only vehicle number, so he can change part B at any number of times, as I have already told to you. So that is, at any point of time, the goods of the e-way bill on the portal should be matched with which is being moved. So part A remains same, only part B is getting changed. So if supplier is sending e-way bill with the truck, it may be further amended to the aeroplane number and further transmitted to the rail port, and after rail port he may amend the railway number, railway receipt number, and again the truck, and finally that goods are moving to the recipient with having part B details of this bus only. So in that fashion you can send the goods from any mode of transportation by using only single e-way bill. Okay. Next, consolidated e-way bill. This is one more facility available to the transporter, not for supplier, because for every document you have to prepare a single e-way bill. It is not possible to combine 4 invoices into one e-way bill. You have to prepare for 4 invoices, 4 e-way bill. But whosoever is transporter of goods, multiple e-way bills of goods carried one vehicle can be consolidated into one consolidated e-way bill, which can be carried by the transporter. It is only betterment of the showing of the details to the assessing officer. Suppose that vehicle driver is having 100 type of consignments in his truck and he is having 100 e-way bills with him. So when officer stops the vehicle and asks for the documents, he has to provide 100 documents and just to check whether that 100 documents are valid or not. And that 100 documents he have to actually say, for these 100 goods, these 100 e-way bills have been prepared. To avoid this situation, consolidated e-way bill is prepared by the transporter. What it means? Consolidated e-way bill is like a trip sheet, or it contains the details of different e-way bills which are moving towards the one direction in a one vehicle. It is a summary of all your e-way bill in layman language. Suppose you have 10 e-way bills, it is a summary of 10 e-way bill in a one sheet. The consolidated e-way bill is not having any independent validity period. Again, validity of the e-way bill is depend on the independent e-way bill only and not of that consolidated e-way bill. However, the individual e-way bill in the consolidated e-way bill should be reached to the destination as per its validity period. So there is e-way bill of 1, 2, 3, 4 can be migrated to consolidated e-way bill. So detail of 1, 2, 3, 4 can be seen from the here. So whenever officer stop the vehicle, the transporter can show the consolidated e-way bill to him and his work will be done. Again, consolidated e-way bill cannot change the validity period. It remains same. Okay. Now how to prepare consolidated from the portal? It is very simple. There is a separate tab called get the consolidated e-way bill. So you have to mention here from state, vehicle starts from vehicle number. And here the list of e-way bill has to be mentioned. Whatever e-way bill number is there, e-way bill date, who generated is invoice number, invoice amount. In a row wise, you have to mention the details of e-way bill. So this is the basic formula of consolidate e-way bill. Multiple invoice in a single vehicle. It may possible that you may send multiple invoice in single vehicle. Single vehicle may have multiple invoice. So formula is very simple. For e-way bill, formula is very simple. One invoice is equal to one e-way bill. Whatever invoices you are prepared, understand the logic. Entire details of e-way bill portal is linked to your GSTR1. It means that whatever e-way bill detail you are preparing is auto-populated in the GSTR1. So when it is get auto-populated, you have to prepare a transaction-wise or invoice-wise detail under the e-way bill. That's why one invoice is equal to one e-way bill. Multiple invoices are issued by the supplier to the same recipient going in one vehicle. Multiple e-way bill have to be generated. Suppose multiple invoices are there, you have to prepare invoice wise e-way bills. Okay, multiple invoices cannot be clubbed to generate one e-way bill. However, after generating all these e-way bills, one consolidated e-way bill can be prepared for transportation purpose if they are going in one vehicle, as mentioned earlier in the earlier slide. If you require to generate a consolidated e-way bill, you can prepare that based on the all e-way bill details. But for every invoice, you have to prepare a single e-way bill. Next very important question, recipient does not take the delivery. When I am sending the goods to the recipient by any reason, say for example, a recipient is saying that I am not accepting your goods. My goods are starting from Mumbai to Gujarat. Goods are with the valid e-way bill having validity of 4 days. After 4 days, after sending the goods from the Mumbai, the goods reaches to the Gujarat on 4th day. And 4th day, get inward person is saying that I am not accepting these goods. You have to get back to your company. The next question is, when those goods are coming back from the Gujarat to Mumbai, there is no valid e-way bill with them. In that case, what is to be done? So there is a chance, as I have already mentioned, it may possible your delivery of the consignment may cancel. The transporter required to generate e-way bill with the help of supplier or recipient by indicating supply as a sales return. There is a separate tab given as a sales return. You have to select those tab sales return and mention the relevant document details, and based on that e-way bill, your goods can be come back to your company with the again valid days. So whenever you put Gujarat to Mumbai, it will again give you the validity of 4 days, and your good can be back based on the sales return document. Why I am mentioning this in detail? Because under reconciliation between GSTR 1 and e-way bill, you require these types of transactions. Company may prepare the sales return documents. Those documents are also part of your reconciliation statement, because it may possible whenever the invoice is issued, it is reported under GSTR 1, but sales return is not reported. So you have so this may be the reconciliation point for you, and this reconciliation point has to be seen from the transaction tab, that is sales return. Okay. Modification in e-way bill. The e-way bill once generated cannot be edited, deleted or modified. Simple funda, once you generate e-way bill, that is part A, you cannot modify the e-way bill. It is not deleted, it is not edited. So before saving form A, part A of e-way bill, you have to take a caution. Wait, watch, validate and then save. Because part A cannot be amended. Only part B can be amended, because only vehicle number can be amended in multiple times. So user cannot amend part A once it is filed. He can amend only part B. However, if e-way bill is generated with the wrong information, it can be cancelled and generated freshly again. Suppose you put the wrong information while mentioning the e-way bill details. Part A is filled up with the wrong information itself. You can cancel it. Okay. The e-way bill can be cancelled if either goods are not transported or not transported as per the detail furnished in the e-way bill. Suppose transporter is not available, the cancellation request is done within 24 hours from the time of generation by the generator. So cancellation of e-way bill is required to be done within 24 hours. Post 24 hours, you cannot cancel the e-way bill. So no cancellation allowed once the e-way bill is verified by the empowered officer. Suppose your e-way bill is verified by the empowered officer, then your cancellation is not allowed. Suppose your goods are already moving and before 24 hours, if it is verified by the empowered officer, then you cannot amend, then you cannot cancel the e-way bill because it is being verified by the empowered officer. So after generating e-way bill, it has to be take care for the 24 hours whether that e-way bill details are valid or not. You may set a system in the company that after generation of e-way bill by the logistic person, same required to be reported to the finance person. Finance people can reconcile those e-way bill details with the invoice generated details. It is only in Excel, no need to worry, manual work is not required. You may check with the Excel figure if it is matched, okay. If it is not matched, cancellation activity has to be done by you. So this system can be set up by you only. Being CMA, you can always advise our client for such type of value additions. Okay. Next, acceptance of e-way bill. This is quite new thing. E-way bill has to be accepted by you. Whatever e-way bill is generated on us as a recipient, recipient has to accept those e-way bill for you. The person who causes the transport of goods shall generate the e-way bill specifying the details of other person as a recipient of goods. That's fair enough. Whenever e-way bill is generated, he has to be mentioned the details of recipient. The recipient or supplier, as the case may be, is expected to check the details and accept or reject the details submitted by the supplier. So those details has to be verified by the recipient. If the details are not desired, not matching with the invoice, he can reject those e-way bills straight away. If acceptance or rejections is not communicated within 72 hours from the time of generation of e-way bill, it is deemed that the recipient or supplier has accepted the details. So post 72 hours, e-way bill is deemed accepted. No action is taken, your e-way bill is deemed accepted. So again, here is a crux of 72 hours. You may consult to your client that you may depute one person from me who will check whether e-way bill generated on you is correct or not. Because before 72 hours, we have to confirm whether it has to be accept or reject. So for rejection, I may help you based on your PO details. I will check the e-way bill and check whether those details mentioned by the supplier is correct or not. And if not, I will reject straight away within the 72 hours. And here comes the business opportunity for you. Okay. Deem acceptance of e-way bill shall be considered where no communication is within 72 hours or at the time of delivery of goods, whichever is earlier. So 72 hours starting from the actual delivery of the goods or actual 72 hours, whichever is earlier. So based on that, acceptance of e-way bill is the major crux under e-way bill system. Post 72 hours, it will not accept. Remember the timelines. You have to accept or reject the e-way bill issued on you within 72 hours. E-way bill can be cancelled within 24 hours. You may extend the e-way bill validity before 8 hours of the receipt of that e-way bill to the destination. So all these R's are required and a compliance part very much highlighted to your clients for doing e-way bill compliance in a smart manner. Okay. Documents and devices RFID to be carried by the person in charge of a conveyance, means whosoever is carrying your goods, transporter in our case, is required to carry certain set of documents with him, certain details with him. The person in charge of a conveyance shall carry the invoice or bill of supply or delivery challan as the case may be, and a copy of e-way bill or the e-way bill number. I am not saying copy of e-way bill or the e-way bill number, either physically or mapped to the radio frequency identified device RFID embedded on the vehicle. What is RFID? Again, dream of GSTN. So GST portal is saying that when vehicle is enabled with the RFID device, that RFID device is having that e-way bill number. And whenever that vehicle is passed from the check post, the capturing device of RFID capture will capture the details of e-invoicing, and the officer sitting under cabin can see exactly whether this vehicle is having proper valid e-way bill with him and the goods carrying under those vehicles. This is again dream project, not yet enabled. It may be enabled afterwards, but this is under the basic provisions. So commissioner will notify the class of transporter to obtain the unique RFID and get the said device embedded onto the conveyance so as to map the e-way bill and movement of goods. They are doing very fast. They will do this in coming future. E-way bill details in GSTR1. Information submitted to e-way bill portal can be used for preparation of GSTR1. I don't know how many of you have been filed GSTR1 returns. If you open the GSTR1 return tab, you may find one blue button now enabled by the GSTN, import data from e-way bill portal. If you select that button, e-way bill, whatever e-way bill generated by the company can be imported in a single click under GSTR1 return. So suppose if you are having the assignment of filing of return of clients for GSTR1, you will get ready-made data from the e-way bill portal. So your GSTR1 assignment can be very easily done by the fetching data from e-way bill portal. And suppose those details are not coming correct, it means there is a chance of getting assignment of reconciliation of e-way bill generated and GSTR1 reporting figures. So there is again chance of the new business called reconciliation of e-way bill details. Earlier e-way bill details for the e-way bill portal is received only for the 3 days. You have to download day-wise report for e-way bill generation, but now on a single click you will get a monthly e-way bill report for entire transactions. You have to done what? You have to do what? Download the e-way bill report, generation report, and download the GSTR1 transaction. Do the reconciliation, give the report to the management that these are the transactions for which you have not prepared e-way bill. These are the transactions for which you have mentioned the wrong values in e-way bill. Because department will issue the notices based on this data only. Because the e-way bill portal and GST portal has been integrated. If they are saying you to use the data of e-way bill portal to file the GSTR1 return, it means both portals are mapped. Officers will give you the report, error report, reconciliation report on a single click. They will just put your GSTN number, place report. They will find out the differences, send you the standard notice. There is a difference between e-way bill and GSTR1. Every normal client will worry what this notice comes. There is a huge gap, and whenever client in a problem, we have to come up with our solution and we have to give our services for the reconciliation. The information furnished in part A can be downloaded in the JSON format. JSON format now very used to for us under GST. which can be used for the preparation of Form GSTR1, which is also possible. And unregistered supplier furnishing information is Form GSTR1, Form GST e-way bill 1 shall be informed electronically if the mobile number or email is available. Okay, so suppose unregistered supplier is preparing e-way bill, so it will be informed through mobile number. So these are the details available. So e-way bill itself giving the back details to your GST portal. Okay, next, how verification will be done for e-way bill? Verification of e-way bill system. The import officer and authorized by the commissioner or officer import by him can verify the documents and conveys. So whatever documents I have mentioned, he must have, that can be verified by the designated empowered officer. On receipt of specific information on the evasion of tax, physical verification of specific conveyance can also be carried out by any officer after obtaining necessary approvals of the commissioner. Okay, and this penalty in case vehicle is detained for more than 30 minutes. Suppose officer is taking his interest to stopping vehicle and check the e-way bill details and all the details for more than 30 minutes. The transporter may upload the said information in Form GSTR4 on the common portal. So transporter can straight away complain about the officer in e-way bill 04 that my vehicle is detained for more than 1 hour or more than 30 minutes for checking of the documents. It means every vehicle has to be processed well within 30 minutes time. So no unnecessary delay, no harassment of taxpayer. But again, $1 million question comes whether transporter is having that much of knowledge to update Form GST e-way bill 04 on common portal. Answer is but obvious no. In that case, your client may call you to prepare the Form GST e-way bill 04 on behalf of him. And again, here is the opportunity of business. So you may give the value additions to the client and timely services whenever client in a problem. So client's problem is always an opportunity for every professional. And once you give the solution under any problem, client will value you. And that value has to be gained by the professionals. We are not taking any advantage of his problem. We are just guiding him in a proper manner because he don't know about the facts. And he don't have the time, don't have the proper manpower with him. So whenever these types of transactions are there, we are always open our doors of services and try to give endless services. End-to-end solution for e-way bill you can provide. Okay. Next, these are the e-way bill forms. Already I have mentioned e-way bill 1, that is e-way bill form. E-way bill 2 is consolidated e-way bill form to be generated by the transporter. E-way bill 3, inspection report to be filled by the proper officer. And e-way bill 4, just we have seen, form to be uploaded by the transporter if vehicle is detained for more than 30 minutes. So these are the 1, 2, 3, 4 formula for e-way bill. Once you understood how to prepare 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, 3 is for that officer only. We have to prepare only 1, 2, and 4. You can give the compliance solution of e-way bill to any of your clients. Okay. Now this is the major crux of entire presentation. Important points to be noted for e-way bill. I think lots of questions already coming. What happened? What is this? So it may possible that this slide will give you answers. No way the e-way bill can be edited or amended. Yes, any issue? Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
No, nothing.
Okay, I feel any issue. No. Okay, no e-way bill can be edited or amended. That is the first point to be remembered. It can be cancelled within 24 hours if required and generate new. Okay. Transportation vehicle details can be updated any number of times till the goods reaches to the destination within the validity period. This is the third crux. Fourth, validity of the e-way bill starts from the time of first entry in part B, that is vehicle details, and not from the generation of e-way bill, that is part A. E-way bill generated is invalid for movement of goods if it is not updated with part B. So e-way bill only completed when part A and part B is filled. Only part A cannot suffice your purpose. Okay. Consolidated e-way bill does not have any specific validity. It depends on the e-way bills attached to it. So these are the important points one have to look for under the e-way bill. Now, most interesting, after understanding the basic e-way bill provision, we have to look for the next topic, that is e-way bill reconciliation. Once you understood basics about the e-way bill, I know time constraint is there, very less, but considering time frame, I have prepared the very good slides for you only to understand in a better way. I hope you understand my language, speed and presentation to understand the basic crux of e-way bill. After understanding that, actually our work start for the e-way bill reconciliation. You have to guide your clients. You have to tell them what is the importance of e-way bill reconciliation for further time frame. And you have to get some work for e-way bill reconciliation activities from the client. So these I will cover now about the e-way bill reconciliation. E-way bill details can be get from. First, from e-way bill portal itself, you can get the e-way bill generated details from e-way bill portal, or from GST portal also you can get the e-way bill detail generated, that is under GSTR 1 tab. So any person want to understand how many e-way bill generated in the last month, he may get the details from the e-way bill portal itself or from the GST portal from GSTR 1 tab. Very simple. If you want to get e-way bill details, go to these two modes. Any mode can give you the details of e-way bill generated. Okay. Now data exchange with GSTN and states. Now how e-way bill data is generated and shared between the stakeholders. So first is from GSTN to e-way bill portal. How data flows from GSTN to e-way bill portal. GSTN masters may be transmitted from the GSTN to e-way bill portal, like critical data like GSTN name, trade name, registration date, principal and additional places of business can be gathered from GSTN masters. First time full data as per above of that state. Everyday incremental new amendment and cancelled if is that is also synchronized with the e-way bill portal. On demand full GSTN details can be also possible by the e-way bill portal. So these are the basic details which are transmitted from the GSTN to e-way bill portal. Okay. Now second is from e-way bill portal to GSTN. This is interesting. From e-way bill portal, what data is transmitted to GSTN for GSTR 1 preparation and analyst. So these analysts will check whether you are reporting 100% transactions of e-way bill in GSTR 1 or not. This is the job of analysts. So they will issue a notice based on that. You are filing GSTR 1 with only 10 transactions and your e-way bill is having 100 transactions. What about the 90? Show cause, why not to impose duties, liabilities, penalties on that 90 transactions. They will also put a value from e-way bill portal. Then you have to justify those transactions are not been reported in GSTR 1 for 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons. It may be job work challans, it may be other supplies, it may be exempt from GST. It is not part of my GSTR 1 return. Likewise, but that task has to be done by you only. The customer cannot know these detailed notes. They only threatened by the notice. They are in a problem. To solve the notice reply, you have to reply with doing reconciliation. And every day all e-way bill data is also transmitted to the GSTN. Next, from e-way bill portal and GSTN to state authorities. So whatever data in e-way bill and GSTN portal is transmitted to the state GST authorities, that e-way bill details for analyze whatever reports the analysis say. System generated reports are there only, that directly goes to the officer. These are the differences with the various GSTN. And every day's state e-way bills, how many e-way bill generated by the e-way bill portal, state-wise details are gone into. So they may on a single click know how many transactions are happening, what exactly the goods are moving from one state to another and within the states. Also, they may check whether all e-way bill details are also mapping with the GST returns, whether all taxes have been paid by the assessee or not. That also can be checked by them. So these are the data exchange flows between e-way bill portal and GSTN and states. So now if you are worrying whether my e-way bill portal is linked with GST, answer is yes. Your e-way bill portal is very much linked with the GSTN and all returns will be checked with your e-way bill details. Okay. Way forward. What way forward after this, doing this? First of all, what means reconciliation? Reconciliation, it is a very simple term. You have to download the details from your e-way bill portal by either way, from the GST portal or from e-way bill portal. You download the GSTR1 details from your GST portal, get reconciliation. Just simple do the invoice wise VLOOKUP. It is only an Excel task. Do reconciliation. Whatever differences you will find, you have to understand the issues, understand the legal provisions of e-way bill and GSTR1. Certain supplies are not reported in GSTR1. Exam supplies, job work challan, delivery challan. Again, in GSTR1, you may report debit note, credit notes, which are not part of your e-way bill. Again, supply of service, because e-way bill is required only for the goods, not for services. So suppose your GSTR1 is having services invoices. Those are also part of reconciliation that are not part of e-way bill. You have to put as a reconciliation point. So these legal details will help you to better reconciliation. So way forward is assist your clients to do an e-way bill reconciliation well in advance before receiving the notices from department. You have to insist your client. Firstly, you have to attract your client. Listen, this reconciliation is something new. All the data from e-way bill portal is automatically synchronized to GST. You have to tell them. He may know, but you have to tell in a different fashion. You also know that, but I am telling you in a different fashion. After attraction, you engage them by giving the reconciliation statements of various dates, various areas. You give them the smart reconciliation reports at various timely manner. Let them engage. How many differences are there? Suppose the notice comes, these differences has to be analyzed. Check how many e-way bill you have not generated, how many e-way bills you have generated with the wrong figures. Such types of report will keep on engaging the client. So after attraction, you have to engage the client. And after engaging in this task, last and foremost is you have to retain that client. Maintain your service as good as possible and you will retain that client. It means that you will always give the value addition to the clients and retain the clients. So for getting any businesses, any job, you have to think for 3 words, that is attract, engage and retain. In every phase, you have to use your personal professionalism for doing the work. You all have the great knowledge, great thing to analyze the sections, provisions of the act. You have to just explore it, understand it and channelize it for your business. It is for our bread and butter. Okay. So second point is, as already explained, value addition to the client. Always give some value addition to the clients. Your reports has to be like a value addition to the clients. Topmost person has to be see your reports. They have to think for the change of systems only based on your reports. You just tell them your 80% GSTR1 can be auto populated from e-way bill portal, which is happening now. So you have to put a cautious call on e-way bill preparation. You have to be a solid check on e-way bill preparer. Whosoever is preparing e-way bill, logistic person, you have to check twice, because based on that your return will be filed. Like that. Make a client competent by your compliance services. You offer a compliance services to the client that we will 100% follow your compliances and make you compliant. Then only you will be rewarded with the certain fees. So make client compliant by your compliance services. And last is follow standard practices. Use your expert knowledge. Use your knowledge things. Great work of Excel can be used in this way because it is only a reconciliation part. So one has to be expert in Excel. Fortunately, all of you are having a certain syllabus under CMA for the Excel. Use that practical training into the business. Use VLOOKUP smartly, use query report, slicer, whatever you are using in Excel, use the standard practices for that and follow those standard practices. It is very simple. You may get the e-way bill data from the Power Query function under Excel in a single click. You may get the GSTR1 data under Power Query on a single click. Once you get all two details, ultimately by again using Smart Excel VBA work, you can reconcile detail and prepare a ready-made report. So suppose if you are having 10 clients, 100 clients, 1000 clients or 1 lakh clients, practice is standard. You are doing the same clicks and you will get the reconciliation report ready. So you have to follow those standard practices for certain types of assignment and definitely you will win. You will know how to get money from this. And I believe that after this session, every one of us can try to get the e-way bill reconciliation assignment in their portfolio. Suppose you have already started, very good. If you are not started, just explore it. You will definitely get the good clients and also client is also getting some value addition from you and seriousness of e-way bill. Okay. So for any questions, queries, you can always write to me on amitdevre@gmail.com for any of your queries now and afterwards. Suppose time permits, we will address some queries also, not an issue. So this is from my side. Thank you. All the best.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sir, here we go about queries. As you have said, you are okay with the mails.
Yeah.
So there are 4 or 5 queries. If you permit, shall we take those?
Yes, yes. We have certain time also, so we can take.
Okay, okay. So, sir, I will take one after another.
Yeah.
Number 1 from Miss Yamini Sangeeta. Will there be any fraud in keeping some goods in container and e-way bill containing some?
Will there any fraud in keeping some goods in container and e-way bill containing same? Means
Containing
what?
same. Maybe.
Some another. I think word is that he is having some different goods in container and e-way bill is stating different. Yes, there is a fraud. The assessing officer can detain the goods by saying that your e-way bill is not proper. Assessing officer does not have any knowledge about your goods, type of goods and value of goods. He only check the documents. And again we are living in India. India में लोगों पे trust नहीं है, document पे trust है. So if your documents are telling something different, he may issue the notices. He may detain your goods.
Okay. Miss Jyoti Chaudhary. Sir, this is very interesting talk. Thanks a lot. She is in fact thanking.
Yeah.
There are many more messages thanking a lot and were very happy with the presentation, sir. And Another question, sir, if multiple modes are used for transfer of goods, what options do we select for part B?
You can select whatever transportation mode you have and update those details in part B. Suppose you are using railway, you can mention railway receipt number. If you are using truck, you may mention the vehicle number. So any mode of transport you can mention in part B.
And couple of anonymous questions, they may be relevant for everyone.
Yeah.
If goods being moved basis delivery challan and there is no sales happening, there will not be any GST payable. Hence, only value can be mentioned on e-way bill, but no GST.
Answer is no. In e-way bill, you have to mention the GST amount also for delivery challan. So in fact, in delivery challan also, you have to mention value plus GST on it as per the GST rules. So on both documents, you required to mention GST amount, applicable GST amount.
Another anonymous query, what to do if we forget to cancel e-way bill within 24 hours?
This is your reconciliation point. Whenever notice come from the department, you have to mention and tell them we forget to cancel this e-way bill. We cannot do anything after 24 hours because.
Okay.
Yes.
So those were some of the relevant queries for today. And sir, now I would like to thank you on behalf of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India and on behalf of the CAT Directorate. Sir, it was really a very nice presentation on e-way bill and reconciliation thereof. See, e-way bill is still perhaps an evolving topic, and it is the talk of the town in the government corridors too. So I hope students, members, and whoever are the attendees in today's program, they are able to get some important knowledge about the topic, sir. So thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you on behalf of CMA H. Padmanabhan, sir, who is chairman of Committee of Accounting Technicians. And this is his initiative that he is conducting the webinar series Youngsters Be Entrepreneurs for the benefit of the students of CAT and CMA course. So special thanks to him. And with this, we would like to conclude today's session. And thank you very much. Thank you everyone for being with us today, despite of being a Saturday evening. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amit sir. That was
Yes.
really wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. With this, uh, we will play the institute's anthem,
Yes.
and thereafter we will sign off, sir. Just a moment, sir. While
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय
मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति
thank you so much once again, everyone. And with this, we are signing off for today. And we will meet once again next week on 26th of December. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye. Good night.